fittest man on earth, Matthew Fraser.
The reigning fittest man on earth has been a factor at regionals since day one. When we zoom out at the champ's body of work over the years at this stage, we see what's become a reign of dominance. Fraser's had at least one event win in every single regional since 2013. That was the overhead squat event. A year later, he notched 3 W's on his way to his first regional championship. In 15, Fraser had 2 event wins and the title in the new super regional format, and since then, his event wins have outnumbered his other finishes. 5 out of 7 in 2016, then of course 4 out of 6 events just this year. When we look at the long view, it reveals a total of 15 event wins out of a total of 34 events in which he has competed, not to mention 7 of those event records worldwide, showing that he's not just dominant in his region, but again, worldwide. The defending champion of the CrossFit Games and the 4-time regional champion joins me now via Skype. Matt, thanks for being here, buddy.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So in an article after the regional, you said that this was likened to a midterm exam or a check-in. So what I want to know from you, what did you discover? What did you find out from this test?
We went over the events, watched all the footage. I was fairly happy with how things went. It's always a good test when you got a guy like Vellner chasing you around all weekend. It's nice to I don't have to wait until August to go against the other fittest guys in the world. I have another podium finisher in my region, but just looking at my lowest place finishes, what slowed me down. Look at the weaknesses from last year. What have I been doing well? What do I need to change? All that kind of stuff.
I'm not even going to ask because I know you don't want Castro to hear, so I'm not even going to ask what those are because I have a feeling you're not going to tell me. But I'd love for you to evaluate a little bit on chasing Vellner and even the rest of the field. I understand that a lot of your finishes at the regional were way different than the one you did them in practice.
Yeah. I've been talking to a couple buddies going into regionals, other regional games competitors, and we're not in the same region, so we're not too worried about sharing times or strategies, anything like that. And I mean, like, there are some events where, like event 6, talking to other guys, and like I did it once without transitions, and my buddy did it with transitions, and we were almost 2 minutes apart. And then we both go to regionals, compete, and we're within seconds of each other. So I mean, it's kind of tough, comparing times when every gym is set up differently. So everyone's transitions are different, and it's just mixing apples and oranges,
Sure.
doing a workout in your home gym that's not set up like the competition floor. It's mixing apples and oranges.
Understood. Now, you said, in addition to that, though, that something you learned from this weekend was that you can compete a little bit more relaxed. Like, I know you're not a man who's afraid of sprinting into the wall, but what did you mean by that you can compose yourself a little bit more?
I don't think I compose myself too much differently than I usually do. Just the same, like, days of competition, I'm not hanging out with too many friends. I'm not really seeing my family. The days just in and out revolved around competing, so it's like the phone gets turned off, so, and end of the weekend, I have some apologies to say, like, hey, sorry for not getting back to you a couple days ago, but, no, I mean, I don't even know if it's so much as in competition, but, just life has been good. So I'm just all around happier outside of the gym, which translates to better performance in the gym.
Can you tell me about some of those factors? In particular, I know that Sammy and you have moved in. Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah, it was, I think, almost a year ago now. She moved up to Vermont, so not doing the long distance relationship anymore, and so that's always a good thing. It's always great having her around, and it just kind of brightens the day.
Got to give a shout out to Sammy because I remember you and Vellner were sitting together. You had sliced oranges, and Vellner was so jealous that you had someone taking care of you in your corner. That was awesome to see.
Yeah, every morning at regionals, no, like a little kid going off to school. Packed my lunch and snacks and made sure I was all good to go for the day.
All right, Matt, at one point, not being content with being second place was your motivation. Now that you're the defending champ, what keeps you driving forward? What makes you want to win?
Uh, I mean, it's nothing new. It's the desire to win has always been there. I just kind of approached it incorrectly or made a few wrong turns. But I mean, there's not really a specific motivation for wanting to win. It's just that simple. I just want to win. That's it.
All right, well, I know you enter a new phase of training now as we approach the CrossFit Games. Cannot wait to see you compete in Madison, and thanks again for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.